Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you. I am Shifa Sheikh and I will be your host for today's session. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for taking the time to join us for this insightful and timely webinar on law and AI, transforming legal practice, innovation, and the future of legal profession. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming the legal landscape from legal research and drafting to litigation strategy, compliance, and client services. As technology continues to evolve, understanding how AI is shaping the future of legal profession has become essential for every person. Today's webinar is organized by Logis, a legal edtech and AI technology company committed to advancing practical legal education and creating meaningful learning opportunities for students and professionals. We are also proud to be associated with DraftMate AI, an AI powered legal drafting and research workspace designed to assist the legal professionals and students in conducting research and drafting legal documents and much more and so much efficiently. Additionally, Law Jurist operates the Law Jurist Legal Journal, an ISSN recognized platform dedicated to promoting legal scholarship and research. I would also like to extend a special welcome to our participants joining us from different parts of India and across the globe. We are delighted to have students, researchers, advocates, and legal professionals with us today. Your participation truly makes this a global learning experience. A special appreciation also goes to the dedicated team behind the Law Jurist, DraftMate AI, and the Law Jurist Legal Journal, whose hard work and commitment have made today's webinar possible. And just to give you a brief overview of today's topic, AI is no longer a concept of the future. It is already transforming the legal professionals' work. From AI powered legal research and document drafting to automation, compliance, and ethical considerations, AI is redefining the legal practice while creating exciting new opportunities and challenges at the same time for the profession. Today's session will explore how the lawyers and law students can adapt to this evolving landscape, embrace the innovation, and prepare for the future legal practice. Now, it is my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Mr. Nitesh Mehra. He is an advocate practicing before the Delhi High Court with over 15 years of experience in the legal profession. As a first generation lawyer, he began his journey as an official law researcher at the Delhi High Court, and today he leads a successful independent law practice representing corporate clients and multinational companies. He currently serves as a panel counsel for the Municipal Corporation of Delhi before the Delhi High Court and regularly appears in GST and writ matters. He has also been twice elected as an executive member of the Delhi High Court Bar Association, reflecting the confidence and trust placed in him by the legal fraternity. With his extensive experience at the bar and practicing practical understanding of how law continues to evolve alongside the technology, we are truly honored to have him with us today. And before we begin, Sorry, just a quick instructions for everyone. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat throughout the session, and we will also have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end of the webinar. And also, guys, kindly fill out the attendance form that will be shared to you in the chat box by our team, and then you can receive your participation certificate. Now, without further delay, so the session is yours.
Thank you, Shifa, and thank you to all of you for joining in such huge and large numbers for this topic. And as I see that there are so many participants today evening, because this topic is such that everybody is looking for this technological thing, this technological developments. So, without any delay, I first of all thanks to the law jurist for organizing this webinar for all of you. And I want to straight away start you with that what is this AI and how it is developing the future of the legal profession. So today, if I start with, I'll say that what is AI and litigation and how machines intelligence is quietly entered into the law offices. So I will tell you that if 20 years ago, if you told a lawyer that a machine would one day draft your entire thing, so then without failing and summarize the 200-page judgment or flag a weak clause in your contract or a junior without opening a file, this would be a nightmare and people would have laughed at you at that time. But today, that AI machine is swiftly and silently entering into each and every law office and calling it is only a tool, which your time says it an artificial intelligence. So let me tell you that the birth of this term artificial intelligence was born in United States, and that too year way back in 1956. And if we talk about today, this AI research and development is global. So it is not one person's job behind this technological advancement. It's the major contributions of different countries which has brought before you this artificial intelligence. And if I name them, some of them are United States, Canada, China, France, Japan, and of course our country name is also there. India is also one of the major contributing factors in the development of the artificial intelligence. So the modern systems like ChatGPT are built on decades worldwide research rather than a single invention by any one nation or one country. So it's a global framework because of which today that global information is available to you just in seconds. And then from where we have reached here, that's the first question which arises in everybody's mind, and that to all the youngsters who are attending this today's webinar. So the use of technology in the legal profession is not new. 2 decades ago, we have that first wave that was the digitization of the court records to save the space and to secure the court records. So that was the first phase. And what did the second phase did it? That then came the second wave of technology which took the legal profession with it. That was the legal research tools, softwares where the books were replaced, and that was the time to leave the library for long hours to finding out your judgments and spending time. That was very useful, but it was still fundamentally about finding the information faster than what we used to do in the libraries. And I was also the part of that second phase because, as has been introduced, I was the official law researcher. So when we entered into this profession, we have been shown these tools with the help of the keys where we can research the judgments out of these tools. So some of them is popularly known as, and everybody is acquainted with their name, is Manupatra, SCC, DLT. So these are some of those softwares which are very well available, LawPack and all this. And the third phase of what we are talking about today is the world wherein we living today, and that's the third wave. The same is qualitatively different from the other two waves which has earlier taken place. So the current generation of artificial information or the artificial intelligence tools does not just only help us in finding that particular information which we are looking for, but it can also generate the reasoning behind it. So that reasoning part was earlier not available, which is now available with the intervention of the AI. So there would be, since everybody, most of you would be using the AI tools, but what can it actually do today is not only draft a notice, it cannot draft it the deeds, it cannot draft the contracts, it can also frame the legal pleadings from you if you give them the right prompt. So the word correct prompts is to be taken care while using the artificial intelligence in any software, whatever you are using today. So if we compare the earlier two versions of the contract, then what has been exactly changed, you can get it in seconds. So that is what AI has done now. So not only the lawyers independently who are practicing the litigation, even the large corporate firms nowadays are using the AI extensively to burdenless their long hours into the short, intelligent, involving tools and to give the reasonable explanation or the reasonable research which their client is looking for. So, and not only these two of our part, even some of the tribunals, judges are also using the AI in its transformation. So this is not because AI is something which is trending today. This is not because AI is a fashionable. It is because the first time there is a piece of software or a tool which has come up can do something which is require years of legal training and hours of working. So, and this is precisely what AI tools, how they work. So there are specifically, there are requirement based AI tools in the market. If you look for the legal drafting, so there are AI tools available for that. If you look for the legal research, there is a separate base of tools which are available there. So AI tools are developing each passing day on the workflows of the litigation offices. You know that there are many such softwares, and the current law jurist also, as stated by the Shefa earlier, that they are also developing some of their tools which are can be help for the legal draftings, and one may try to first use it and then they see that how different it is from what you are actually doing. And I've also came across this one of the AI tools which is knowledge munshi. So this word munshi demonstrates that a clerk. So this AI tool which has now come, it can save a lot of time of an individual lawyer in finding out the the case which is listed tomorrow, the cause list, the daily updates, the orders which are coming in the their matters. So, there is each day developing AI tool according to the requirements. So those young startups, the entrepreneurs, the young entrepreneurs who are developing it, they are seeing that what are the requirements of the legal professionals and what are the requirements of the litigation offices. So this was the first part of introduction which I've just told you. Now going into the second part of it, which says about the legal research. So this is the most, I say, the mature use of AI which is being used by most of the legal offices, lawyers, the law students also in their moot courts also nowadays. So traditionally, what the research used to mean is like ours, combing through the case laws and onto the related facts and situations, putting the keywords and getting 100 judgments out of it. But now AI power tools are available. So what a lawyer can ask a question in a plain language and he can receive on the point answer from the AI tool or the server. So which a lawyer can then verify before using it or before putting it in any of the pleadings, any of the drafts, or if I say before putting it before any court of law. So what this legal research earlier was a full day or many hours work is now have been reduced to the minutes of research. The second part, in the part 2, I'll demonstrate you that it is all about the document drafting and review. I request Shifa to, if you can please close this PPT so they can have a right now. So this document drafting and review is the second part of research-based AI tools which are now available in the market. So this is where the transformation is most visible day to day. Contracts, your notices, your pleadings, your rejoinders. A large share of legal work is perfectly done. Requires the producing and reading of documents. AI tools can now quickly review those documents, thousands of pages, and can give you a brief note to the point, clauses based document result, what the prompts you want from it. So reading of 100 of hours and giving the correct prompts, there's a huge difference in that. Obviously, once the result has come, we being the legal minds, we should always give the document a check, a review to have the authenticity of that particular document. Because AI is though a boom, but you have to use it carefully. And third, if I say, is the litigation support. So how the AI tool is supporting us in litigation? They can just synchronize with any situation which you put, and then they can analyze the pattern across the thousands of prior judgments which are existing nowadays to help and understood that how a certain type of a case law has been historically decided, and would have a bearing on the case which you are right now dealing with. So that result is always available to us with a word of caution, subject to scrutiny, verification with the citations and the case laws as they do exist or they do not exist in the case laws journals or in the legal softwares as they are available with us. So not only the research AI drafting specific tools can also help you to improvise a simple draft into a grammatically correct and improved version of phraseology if used sensibly. So few of AI powered legal drafting tools are which I have used nowadays. People are using cloud nowadays. This is Case Docker, lawattorney.com, Google Gemini. But all of these, again I am saying and I will be repeating it in throughout the webinar that these has to be used with due care and caution because all of them are subject to verification and human intervention is always required. So, if you summarize the litigation intake or the litigation support in the AI, it can be into 5 6 points, which I just read before you. It's like case intake, client management, legal research, relevant Supreme Court and High Court judgments for you. Obviously, it's available to you for the drafting assistance, drafting of claims, joinders, as I just said. Document review is one of the most important key feature. Evidence. Now, this is another key feature of these AI tools that evidence earlier was not being available, or we say that this is the part of the cross examination where always the human intervention of the mind is required. But now, sensibly using this AI tool, if you give them a situation, if you give them a statement of a witness, you can ask that what all the possible questions you can ask them on the basis of what defense is yours or what is the case of yours. So putting a clear instruction, giving a clear prompt and giving the situation based prompt to the AI tool, you can get the best results suited for you. So last part is the case strategy. So nowadays these AI tools are also being used that how you will proceed in a case. So these case strategy can also be prepared by identifying the strength and weakness of your particular case. So with the advent of these tools, definitely there are multiple technological developments which are happening day by day, and it's certainly helping each one of you as it is saving the time. So, some of the few important safeguards which everybody should keep in mind while using the AI tools is that it never replaces the confidential client information, and you should never upload them without informing your client or without taking the client's consent and the appropriate safeguards. Why I am saying so? As the Supreme Court is right now underway where they are developing the guidelines for use of AI in the legal profession. So they are also circumspect of this situation at present, which I have also find it out through the extensive research of mine that the information, the confidential information rather I say, when you are putting it in the internet or in the public domain without your client's confirmation or consent, it could be very dangerous to a legal professional, as this would be a direct violation of a DPDP Act 2023. So you have to responsibly use it. You have to verify each and every AI generated citation and judgment which you are trying to use it in your case or which you are trying to give in a court of law. Independently review all the drafts before filing it in the court of law. Comply with the applicable rules of the Bar Council of India, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, and if any there are court specific directions, kindly go through them also. So now this was the situation based that what and in how the way we have to use these AI tools. Now I will dwell you. This would be rather I say it would be the practical experience of how the AI has been developing in the courts of law nowadays. So what you have to all understand while using the artificial intelligence is that how do we ignore the abstract warnings. It means a very little to all of us until you all are exactly how these situations are unfolded, and in actual courtrooms what judges said, what are the consequences. So I am sure that you all must have gone through the various uh, updates which are happening, which are coming in the live law, you say bar and bench, or you are reading it in the internet also, that how the court is dealing with this. So, may I once again request to close this PPT? I don't require it. So, if you can please close this PPT. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you. So, the first case which was there happened with regard to the AI. It was way back in 2023. I don't know whether any of you is aware about that or not. This was a case in a US court, and that was a US district court, where the case name was Mata versus Avanica. In that, the dispute was relating to a passenger who filed the claim for damages against an airline. And the lawyer, interestingly, first time used that chat GPT, took out the citations, put it in the pleadings, filed it in the court of law. And you know what happened when we do not use it sensibly? The Airways Council appeared. He checked thoroughly each and every judgment, and he came before the court. And then what did he said? That that these judgments are not traceable. Then court took the cognizance of the same and asked the counsel, from where did you got these judgments which you have cited? So then the counsel has to confess that I have done that through a AI tool. So those citations were not even existing. And for that thing, not only the client, even the advocate was fined by the US District Court. So that was the first of its instance which has happened, and which shows that we have to first verify it humanly to see that we have an accountability before the courts of law while we are arguing on any manner in any research or any help which we have taken with the support of the AI. So, second case, it is of Punjab and Haryana High Court. Interesting because in this particular case, the AI was used responsibly, and this time the lawyers didn't use it. It was a justice of Punjab and Haryana High Court who used this AI tool. So the case name was Jaswinder versus State of Punjab, when a court used AI transparently. So on March 2023, Justice Anup Chitkara used the chat GPT tool with a query that how courts generally approach the matters with regard to the cruelty. So the chat GPT, as it does today, it gave its opinion. So the honorable judge, while writing down the judgment, has noted down that while I asked this tool about how the courts are nowadays dealing with the situation, so the exact prompt there came a conclusion or the report or the answer. So then he quoted that in the judgment and responsibly said that this part of the judgment has been taken from so and so, and this is not the mind of the judge. So this is the way how we should use the AI tools. Because at the end of the day, we are into a legal profession which talks about that there has to be a lot of responsibility. We cannot just go and straight away arguing on an AI tool which is not even verified and which is not even being checked. So these all AI tools has to be first minutely verified. Now, thereafter, our own CJI, while hearing a case of state of Andhra Pradesh versus Union of India, this was a writ petition 1230 of 2023, that AI marks very serious biases, And we must remind ourselves that it's a man made tool. AI has to be ethically responsible. So, what does this ethically responsible means? That it is not that every time what the prompt will say that remove this person and AI will remove that person. Obviously, that happens, but then that's not ethical. That was this, comment, or we say that what was this all about? That the code was conscious of the fact that even if you are using the prompts in the AI, so these are to be ethically used. And today, what we are discussing, let me remind you, we are not talking about that what the creators are doing, what the artists are doing, what we are doing. We are just telling you that how AI and litigation has to be responsibly dealt with. So there comes the ethically responsibility of each one of us. So thereafter, the last case which I will be just telling you from the court, it's Pooja Ramesh Singh versus J&K Bank that happened recently in 2026, INSC 668. So this was a case where the decision has been built at the last in the part on AI generated judgments that did not exist. The Supreme Court took the cognizance and found that the reasoning had indeed relied upon a case law which has been fabricated by an AI tool and never verified. So, following from this, Supreme Court called what has been described as a zero tolerance mode. So, each one of you who is using this AI tool must keep in mind that the courts have a very strict view with regard to using of these AI tools in the legal pleadings and draftings. So now I lead you to this the deeper ethical and structural questions which do comes in the mind of everyone. So beyond this hallucination of AI, which we have examined from the courtrooms, from the introduction, and now telling you that these are the several questions which comes in the legal mind, that this legal profession has to sit honestly decide the future for it with regard to the AI and the generations which are coming now. So why, referring again to that judgment wherein the CJI took note of the fact that AI tools are generally biased. The reason behind that is that AI systems basically works and learn from the historical data. They do not have the things which are yet to come or which are happening right now. So a tool which is trained on the past pattern can, if used carelessly, replicate those biases under the technological neutrality, because they always give a lot of abstract warnings, but none of us take the courage or the time to read them because we feel like that we don't have time. But actually, the situation becomes very dangerous when these biases take care of that historical data preserved with it, and whatever is available with them, the results come according to those only. So the present situation where we are sitting today is that though it's giving us a technological boom, but it's just like a dynamite also. If it explodes, it can disturb your entire profession. It can disturb your entire career of law, which you have worked for so long. Obviously, with the time, we also changed because earlier what we were using as computers, now we are using that iPads also. So the question arises here is in twofold, that who will be responsible for incorrect legal guidance which AI is giving, and who will be held accountable for the unauthorized practice of law which the court is cautioning again and again, again and again. So I have answered to it. I have deep researched in the AI for the past last 3 4 months. I have also sent the suggestions to the Supreme Court committee with regard to the draft regulations of AI which has been underway. So until and unless or till a time there is a regulatory mechanism which comes up by the government or by the Bar Council of India or the Supreme Court of India, we have to understand that who will be responsible. It is actually we, is the user of the AI would be the sole person who would be held accountable and responsible for using the AI tools unauthorizedly, insensibly, and against the spirit of rule of law. Because ultimately, when the lawyers are using these AI tools, they are giving the advice against their client's wishes by using these tools. Because your client never authorized you to use these AI tools. And that's why earlier only I said you that it has to be carefully used, unless it will diminish your entire position. So, what I feel today is that training module is very important. So all the law students who have now, are in this AI webinar today with me, there will be a small request from my side to you that all of you approach with your deans, because this training module is very important in this AI which is coming for future. So we all know that how the young lawyers are trained. We all know it takes the years and years of time to train the lawyers, and it took the hard work from scratching on the ground, from filing of the certificates and reading the books, getting the judgments out, drafting it, running into the courts. So it really takes dwells, some hard work is required to make a good lawyer, and that good lawyer then become a good senior lawyer. So it's the same like how much of grinding, reading, and the groundwork has been done by that particular lawyer. So if AI actually absorbs the earlier career options, then nobody will do this hard work, and their career can ruin at any stage. So how do we have the good senior lawyers in this AI? So the same cannot be actually the reason to reject the technology, because today we are having this webinar in a positive assertion that definitely this AI will have a future and a good future. So it becomes the duty not only of the law schools, at the same time of the bar associations, of the bar council of the states, and our statutory bodies like Bar Council of Delhi in Delhi and the Bar Council of India, which regulates us, to have a curriculum with regard to the AI, rather than hollowing it out from our souls or our system or our legal profession, stating that we are still not prepared or it is against the spirit of laws. We should rather prepare a system or module where it can be transformed into the future of the legal profession. So, coming on to the, a part where I say that how we develop the technologies. Earlier, we all remember that it started from the stenographers, then going into the typewriters, there comes the computers, and thereafter the iPads which we are now using. For the thousands of pages of files, we just take a click, and then in microseconds you are onto that particular page which you have to refer to the particular code. So that's how the technology advances its own way, and that's how the system also adopts it. So rejecting it at the threshold, saying that artificial intelligence cannot in any way replace human mind, nobody is saying that, and it would rather never happen, because at the end of the day, it's you who is giving the prompts to that tool to get the results. So, seeing the time constraint, I would be narrowing down my actual spirits which are there for artificial intelligence. So, I personally feel that AI would never replace human minds. Just like the apprehension was there when the computers came that the machine will replace the humans, it never happened. Rather, it supported its way. So, the AI will replace the certain tasks definitely, the legal work, and it will reshape what the client expects from the lawyer. I believe the gap between the lawyers who adopt the technology and those who have a fear from adopting the technology, it is definitely a big. So we have to use it responsibly, thoughtfully, ethically, and the verification of what we are trying to give it to the others. That should be the key behind using the AI tools. And what we need is that the law schools, the bar councils should treat the AI literacy in its prime motives or the prime motto, so that the future is being safeguarded by the young lawyers who are coming up and who are using these AI tools. And once this would be done, take from me, it would be known as the core competency professional ethical use of AI. And further, most importantly, I believe that the identity of a lawyer will not disappear from these AI tools. It will be rather sharpened. So when mechanical work is automated in any form, not only in our profession, in any form, I am saying, what remains is the essentially human part of law, how to use it. No machine or tool can replace a lawyer arguing in a court of law, standing before a judge when the arguments are frequently changed. So your AI tools can give you a framework, a homework which you do or which you will have before the presentation of the case. Because once you are in the court of law, the questions, the 5 rounds which are coming from the judges are based on what you have filed on record, what is there according to the law. So it's always an assistance, but cannot be a replacement. So once for all, we all are clear about this fact. So my practical advice to the young lawyers now: if you are a student, learn from the fundamentals of law and deeply read from your law books and the judgments you cross check with the journals or the software tools and learn law from your teachers. As we all says that a machine cannot teach you law. Use AI tools responsibly and ethically. If you are a young advocate, these tools actually take from me are multipliers for you. The lawyers who have gone through the early phase of digital era, as we also come in that, will be the ones who will thrive for this, and because they have proven again and again that responsibly using any tool can always boom your practice, it's always an asset to your practice. Rather, it forms a legal skill within you and for your office and all the young lawyers who are coming to join this legal profession. And if you ask me that what are my closing remarks for today and this webinar, is like each one of you should give a thought before using a AI tool. Every major shift in the legal history, whenever it has happened, those typewriters, as I said, photocopiers, I said, computers, I said, then iPads. The question is always that whether it would replace a lawyer or not. It actually not, and it never did. Each time, our legal profession, with the legal luminaries, the senior advocates, the brilliant judges, has adopted it and welcomed it. And that's the reason that the legal profession every day became more effective. As any one of us thought that today we are in the era of virtual courts, it's the COVID which actually make us understand that the technology works this way also. Had that not been the situation, we would have still be in the era of where we are using the hard files and where there was no way to have the court accessed virtually. But it happened, and it's helping all of us. At the same time, if we have 5 courts, we can deal with them in 5 different laptops, in 5 different computers, in 5 different iPads. But practically, it's not possible to teach to 5 courts in a day. So that's how technology support its cause. So artificial intelligence is the latest chapter in the legal profession, and it's not an exception to it. Take it from me. So the conclusion which we have arrived today is to use this technology with some discipline which all of us should follow, the same verification and the same sense of duty which is casted on every legal professional has always demanded the same, so that it serves the values which are existing to protect the justice, the rule of law, and our legal profession. With this, I am closing this webinar to my remarks, and now I am open to the questions, whatever the viewers have with regard to the AI technology and law in the legal profession. Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much, sir. It was a really good session. And as about the questions, many of the people are having some questions, starting with. So, first, a person has asked, how does the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, the DPDP Act 2023, affect the AI development in India?
So it's not affecting the AI development in India. It's our central legislatures, or I say that the government which make laws. Because earlier there was no protection available with regard to sending of anybody's information to anyone. So to protect that third party information, this DPDP Act 2023 came into the picture. As far as an obstacle, you don't treat it as an obstacle. This would be another instrumental, rather we should read it in a harmonious construction, as we say. It should be harmoniously read that there should be compliance of this act before we actually feed anybody's data into the internet.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Moving forward with other questions. Is AI generated content considered copyrightable?
See, as far as that question is concerned, the question is also very interesting. If you ask me, it's just like any other Google research tool which is available to you and which cannot be copyrighted because it is open to use for all. But yes, once you take a subscription based thing from them, then definitely, which I have said in the earlier part of this webinar, the abstract warnings must be read by all of us, and we ignore that, and there only, what we do is a mistake which is known as an ethical mistake which is done by us, as we ignore that and we just move on very fast to use that particular AI tool because we need the answers very quickly. So at certain point of time, I think the AI tools, or if the softwares, they'll definitely have one or the other clause with regard to their copyright content. So all of you, before using it, actually you should see that whether there is a clause of copyright or not with regard to using their particular tool or not.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Moving forward with, what ethical challenges do you foresee with the increasing use of AI in legal practice, and how should the young lawyers prepare for them?
See, that I have already answered while I was concluding this webinar. I would rather further say, again, I have to repeat the same, that the responsibility and the discipline to use these AI tools is of ours only. I remember one of the lecture what we were doing, basically a workshop on the artificial intelligence in Delhi High Court. So there, one of our judges who was speaking there, Justice Vivek Chaudhary, he told us that this AI is basically a black box because it does not have of its own anything. It own from others. It own from the history. It from get it from the knowledge which is available in the past. So it does not use its mind. So therefore, all the young lawyers who are asking me this, I'll say that the discipline, verification, accountability are the three factors which has to be kept in mind while using any AI tool.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. The next up is, so as there are so many research tools in the market like ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, so many times they generate hallucinated cases which are not or never existed and are cited by the lawyers in the real cases. So, what are your views on that?
So I have demonstrated in the webinar today only that there are three, four cases which I just told you. So now if you are putting those cases, who will be accountable? The answer I have already given you. It's you. It's the user. So if you are putting those hallucinated case laws, citations which are never existing, you have to face those consequences. Abhi, the court is nowadays giving the warnings. Maybe in the future they start imposing the cost. They may issue you a show cause notice with regard to your license. So therefore we have to be very careful. Or we should give a declaration to the court that we are using this part of this information from the AI tool which has been generated through AI. But then again, the judgments, I would never say that you use on any result which has come from AI directly without even verifying that whether it actually exists or not.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Another person is asking, everyone say to use AI and be cautious, but which areas specifically we can use AI and what measures should be taken to be cautious against the AI?
See, as I just said that yes, there are various areas in which you can use it. It's like drafting of any of the deeds which you want, drafting of a clause which you want to, and you can put thousands of documents in the AI and then you can seek the comparison of those. And the legal research is also available. Nobody is saying that you don't use it for legal research, you use it, but then you have to verify it. But the other parts of is that yes, you can use it for drafting. If you feel like that some part of your paragraph which you feel like can be better drafted, you can ask AI, you can put your prompts to the AI, AI will draft it in particular manner. Nowadays, people what they do is that they give the particular prompt and they say draft a bail application. AI will quickly give you a bail application. But then again, you have to see that whether it's synchronized with the earlier drafts of bail which actually exist or which you have actually read over the period of time. And that's not only with regard to the bail application. I'll see it for any other draft which you put and you ask AI that can you give me that particular draft? AI will definitely give you. But then does it match according to your facts? Does it match according to the court rules? Does it match according to the court ethics? Those has to be used. So you can use it. There is no bar to it that you cannot use AI tools. But yes, in the particular format, in the particular manner, in the particular fashion.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. It was actually your answer actually gave us so much clarity about that particular issue. Moving forward with what is one ethical safeguard that must be built into AI tools today so that they become a real asset to the legal profession rather than a risk?
See, if you ask me, that one thing is quietly disturbing me for the past 3 4 months. I have been actually working on that for the last 3 4 months. And I'm trying to find out a way, but right now I don't find it out. It is there. So this DPDP Act 2023 has actually been complied with. These AI tools doesn't say that they are DPDP Act 2023 compliant. So, in the absence of that, whatever we are doing in the legal profession, passing on the information of any person into the internet without the consent, it's a direct violation of law. So, this is the major biggest concern which is there, that without the consent of anyone's, how can we put somebody's personal information into the internet? And at some point of time, if one of the clients will stand up in the court of law and say that I never authorized my lawyers to put my contents into the internet, then what will happen? Definitely, it would be the user who would be responsible. Ultimately, the attorneys has been signed in the favor of the lawyers not to use the AI. So
Okay,
that's the
sir.
situation.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Moving forward with what do you think? Should the courts and the bar councils formulate a clearer guidance or the guidelines on the use of AI by the advocates or the law students?
I don't know whether you are aware or not, but I think most of you must be aware that Bar Council of India has recently, on 14th or 15th of July, has issued a circular with regard to the social media, the reels, the videos, and how to use it ethically. So then such kind of a thing I think will soon come up once the Supreme Court will formulate the guidelines on AI, because the committee is working very hard on the same and will soon have those rules and procedure to use the AI in the legal profession. So guiding from those rules, I think the Bar Council of India will also take out its do's and don'ts as they have done in the regard to social media. So don't worry, have patience. The authorities are well aware of the situation which is now, and they are not denying it that no, AI cannot enter into the legal profession. So they are working on it because it takes time for everything to be done. So all those minds, the human minds, are working on the all data which has come to them from all the stakeholders as they openly ask for it. and now soon we'll have those guidelines. So we will follow if the AI tools according to those guidelines. I think there would always another legal skill which would be added to our legal profession. That's it. That's the answer to the same.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Next up is apart from AI, like which tool do you recommend to practice for practicing?
See, I will not recommend any AI tool in this webinar because that would be clear in advertisement of that product. So I don't want to do that. So it's depend upon each one of you. Whatever the AI tool feels best to you and easy to access, and your prompts are well taken by that AI tool, you can do use that. So it's actually the user friendly. The more user friendly AI tool would be there, the more adaptive to the situation it would be, the more helpful it would be to all of you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And what beyond the AI tools and that, what are the top three skills that every student, law student, should focus on today to build a better, successful career?
So now diverging from the last question, now for this I have the three words rather which I every time say to all my youngsters, to all the young lawyers. I'm also a first generation lawyer. It took me over a decade to actually reach to the position where we understand the law, where we research on the law and we argue in the court of law. So there is no easy key to the success in this legal profession. And that's what every senior lawyer says, every judge says, you have to work hard, you have to work hard, and you have to work hard. So that's the only key to success in the legal profession.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivating line. And this would be the last question for today. As someone who has witnessed the legal profession evolve over the last 15 years, what technological change has surprised you the most? And also, do you believe that AI is the biggest transformation yet?
As I divided it into the three parts, and I told you that earlier it was a digitization of the court records, only scannings were happening. Thereafter, it came the second phase where it changes into computers, and then from computers to the software tools, and then we using the iPad. I personally never even thought of that. One day I'll be using this iPad to have my entire case done. And this situation is marvelous, I say, because you have the thousands of pages and seconds of click, and you have the page numbers the judge asks, and you have the bookmarkings and all those things done. But yes, definitely, this third phase, which we are actually entering into, the transformation of the legal profession through AI, would remarkably change the future of legal profession. This is the underlining line which I say.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such an insightful and engaging session. We sincerely thank Mr. Nitesh Mehra for sharing his knowledge, practical experiences, and valuable insights with all of us today. And a special thanks to Law Jurist team, DraftMate AI, and the entire team working behind the scenes for making this webinar possible. We are also grateful to all the participants, including those joining us from different parts of India and abroad, being a part of today's session. We hope you found this session webinar very informative, engaging, and inspiring. And please do not forget to fill out the attendance and feedback form, share in the chat to receive your participation certificate. And thank you once again. Have a wonderful evening again. And thank you so much, sir.
Good evening to all of you, and I am once again thankful to the Law Jurist for organizing this AI technological based webinar, which is the need of the hour. And I once again request to all the viewers, all the youngsters, all the lawyers who are watching this webinar, please use AI ethically, responsibly, and with a caution. Thank you, all of you, for hearing me over and taking out time to have this webinar with you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.